Okay, folks, so for our last poem in our poetry unit that we're going to be writing is something called free verse. And that's exactly what it means. You, the poet, are free to write it however you want to. Okay? Normally I do this lesson very differently. Normally I play a piece of music and I have you draw a picture and then I have you listen to it like a bunch of times and then I have you write a poem based on your picture that you drew from the music that I played. But we can't do that here because it's just too hard. So we're going to try it sort of like this. I'll show you one example of free verse. You can go out online and look at any number of free verse poems that you want. But the thing about free verse is, like I said, it doesn't have a specific structure or a format to follow. All of the poems that we've been doing have a very specific format that I needed you to follow. Here it is up to you. You can use some of those things that you learned throughout the poetry unit to write your poem or not, but it does need to be a poem. Okay, so what kinds of things could you use? You could use rhyme, you could use couplets or triplets, or even, I can't remember, but quattro is 4, right? You could use synonyms, you can use syllables, you can break your lines up into syllables and have some sort of pattern that way, or not. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is actually, I found this in my book, because I keep papers from everywhere, and I found this in my book written by one of my former students who's an adult now. I don't know where she is right now. I'm sure she's okay. But she wrote this after 9/11. When the Twin Towers were taken down. And, you know, that was kind of on everybody's mind at that point, just like the coronavirus is on all of our minds. So I'm going to read this. It does go on to another page, but this is a free verse poem, and she put it together the way she wanted to. It's called Tragedy. Tragedy has struck the world to every single boy and girl. Sadness has filled our ears, worrying about our peers. Many people have been hurt in the ruins, rubble, and the dirt. The crashing of towers, memories of flowers, people dying, their families crying. It happened in America, but tragedy shocked the world. Seeing the horrified faces of people from all different places. Now some of us are gone, still amongst the ruins. Okay, so you can see that she doesn't really stick to a specific pattern, but she does use rhyme, like she does ears, peers, hurt, dirt, towers, flowers, dying, crying, and then she goes off of the rhyme. And that's okay. You can do that. You can structure this any way you want to in a free verse. So let me just give you a little more information. Most of this will be in your document. Okay, so the first thing to do is to pick a theme, a topic, or a message that you want to write about. You can use a picture, you can use anything you want. You are free to do whatever you want. So this is where you need to use your imagination, okay? And that's what it says. Use your imagination and then write down your ideas about your theme or your topic, okay? Once you have some ideas generated, then use your 5 senses. I think we talked about that with one of the poems. Like if you get to your reader's 5 senses and they can engage their sight, their sound, the smells, like if they can see what it is that you are writing about, then you have engaged their 5 senses, right? You have to be descriptive in order to do that, okay? Now, you can choose to use all, some, but you need to use at least 1 or 2 of the language literary devices that we have studied all year long. Okay, remember from way back in the beginning of the year, we've been studying about language and how to use it and how to write with it. Okay, so just as a reminder, some of the literary devices, sorry about that truck going by, some of the literary devices, you know, that we've learned about: alliteration, metaphor, simile, working in syllables, right? Hyperbole. You can make your poem funny. You can make it ironic. Personification. Imagery, like a poem should have lots of good imagery. You can use repetition, rhyme. You can even use onomatopoeia. Remember onomatopoeia? So again, I am not going to give you a whole lot of more instruction, and unfortunately I can't give you a piece of music to go off of, but you can do that for yourself, or you could use a picture, you could use anything, you can use an experience that you've had. I think a great topic right now would be the shutdown and being quarantined in your house with just your family. I know some of you seem like you're getting a little tired of doing that. But that's a great topic, and poetry is supposed to be about what we're feeling and what other people are feeling. And I think maybe it might be a good idea to do that. You don't have to, it's just a thought. Anyway, give it your best, turn it in the bottom of the document, have fun with this, play with this. This should take you a little bit, it shouldn't just be like a one shot and I'm done kind of thing. Play with the language and have fun with it. Take everything you've learned in the unit and put it to work here for you. Have fun. See you next time.